I'm Anil Kumar. Welcome to my series on fractions. Let me thank all the viewers and subscribers for watching the videos and posting excellent suggestions. This question comes from one of our subscriber, Mr. Santosh. Santosh ji, thanks a lot for posting your question. I added some more things to it and then here is a video for you. I hope it helps you and many others. So we'll now understand how to find a greater fraction of the two. So I have three kinds of fractions. One is straightforward, the other one is multiplication, and then we have after addition, right? So let's see how to do these questions one by one. If you have to compare fractions given in part A, the best strategy is to cross multiply. Right, so cross multiply means what for me is you need to multiply the numerator with the denominator like this, correct? So, and like this. So when you do 11 times 5, you get 55 here. And when you do 8 times 7, you get 56. Now you have two numbers to compare and you can always write down your answer. Does it make sense to you? Since 56 is greater than 55, we know that this fraction 7 over 11 is greater than 5 over 8. You will like to understand why it works. It always works. So it always works. Now, let's see why. In fractions, to compare, you have to make common denominators. So the strategy is to make common denominators, right? Now in this case, 8 and 11, the common denominator could be what? 8 times 11. You have to multiply these two to get 88 as your common denominator. Now if I want to make 88 as my denominator, then what should I do with the first one? I have to multiply each one of these by 11, right? So we get 11 times 5 as 55. You see, basically we multiplied 11 by 5, so that is clear, right? Similarly, the other fraction we want to make 88, so I have to multiply this by 8, both numerator and denominator. So we get 8 times 7 as 56. So you see, it is a shortcut method. We don't have to compare the denominators. We have already made them same, in this case 88. So once you do that, you know which one is greater. 56 is greater than 55. Both have the same base, so now you can compare. So I hope that step is absolutely clear, right? So ultimately, that is how you compare any two fractions. Now let us see what happens when we are multiplying and adding these fractions. So let's understand what is multiplication in fractions. So when we have 2 over 3 and 3 over 6, now I prefer to do simplify, then multiply. So let me tell you what I mean. 3 goes by 3, 3 goes 1 times each. So we have simplified. Do you see that? And 2 goes 1 time and 3 times. So this fraction here is just 1 over 3. Do you agree with me? So we simplified it and then found that this one is just 1 over 3. The other one, on the other hand, we could simplify dividing them by 2 and dividing by 2 each, 2 times 1, 2 times 3. So the other one is 5 over 3. So we again get a fraction like we got in the previous time. Now how will you compare? Now you got it. You got to cross multiply, right? So you will cross multiply this time. And once you cross multiply, it's easy to compare. Even otherwise, the base is 3. So no need to cross multiply also. Since you have the same base, just compare 5 and 1. You know 5 is greater, right? So we write this sign. 5 is greater, so this is greater than sign. So you can say, well, 5 over 3 is greater, right? So you can write that this fraction which you had here, which is 4 over 2 times 5 over 6 is greater than 2 over 3 times 3 over 6. Does it make sense? Since 5 is greater, right? So you got it. Now when you have the same base, you don't even have to multiply, right? So it is absolutely clear, correct? Now, let's do addition. How do we add? Well, to add, we have to have common denominator. So first step here is to add, right? So how can I add? I have to have common denominator, right? So 5 and 6, the common denominator is 30. Right? So we have 30 for first one and 30 for the other one. How can I make this 30? Cross multiply. 6 times 3, 18. 5 times 5, 25. Right? So now, once you have the common denominator, you can add 25 and 18 with the denominator of 30. 5 plus 8 is 13, 3, 1. And you get 3 plus 1, 4. 43 over 30. Now let us do the other one, where the common denominator for us is 5 times 4, 20. In a way, it is also cross multiplication. Cross multiply. So we get what? 15, and we'll add 15 and 16. So when you add 15 and 16, we get 31 over 20. So these are the fractions to be compared. How will you know which one is greater? Well, we could again apply the strategy of cross multiplication. So let's do it. So we have these two, which are 43 over 30, and then we have 31 over 20. So if you cross multiply, what do you get? 30 times 31, 10, right? 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 3 is 9. And when you cross multiply 43 with 20, you add 0 because it is 20. Now times it with 2. We get 6 and 4, 8. Now which number is greater? Clearly 930 is greater. So we get greater than sign. Do you understand? That one is greater. Correct? So I hope you understand now how to compare these fractions. Now let me just tell you that when I write this sign, this means like 7 is greater than 5. Do you see that? So this sign means greater. Correct? If I'm using a sign like that, which is like 7 is less than 9, so this means 7 is lesser. Is that okay? So that is what these signs are, and equal to, you understand. Perfect. So that is how we should be solving such questions or comparing fractions. So I hope the steps are absolutely clear. So if you are given two fractions, just cross multiply and figure it out. If you have to do an operation like multiplication, simplify, then multiply, and then do the comparison as we did in the first case. If you have some addition or subtraction, first do that and then cross multiply and compare. So I hope that really helps. Feel free to write your comment, share your views, and if you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. Thanks for watching and all the best.